'Cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. My voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho. Our lies will come tumbling. Deny my place and time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly it will blind you. 'Cause there's something inside so strong, so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough. But we know better. Just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. Something inside so strong. And I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
All right. Good evening to all our wonderful viewers, and thank you for joining us for tonight's show. You are tuned in to Beyond Talk Live, Walking with Purpose, Raising of the Y and Z Generation. I'm Aaron George, and with me tonight is the founder of Beyond, as usual, Sandra Turgott.
Hi, everyone.
And our
Good
special
evening.
guest, our special guest for the evening is Trayon Baksh.
How are you guys doing? Good night, good night.
Excellent.
Yay, amazing. Wow, wow, wow.
Excellent. So Beyond Talk, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, is a social mentoring forum, a place to engage our community in thought-provoking conversation about real-life issues, triumphs, pain, grief, growth, success. This space is designed to inspire you and to foster transformation and healing.
Wow, Aaron, what a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I
telling you.
love it, eh?
I'm getting jealous over here.
I know. Amazing. We have our own radio host there. I love it. I
We
love
are
it.
on radio.
We are on
Welcome
radio.
to those who are on radio, Dorc Radio. And we encourage everyone, especially on Facebook Live, friends on Instagram, please share the link with your friends, those that are in your circle. This is going to be a powerful show. We have this wonderful young man here who is a great example of transformation. We want to share this to all young people alike out there that can benefit from this program. So please share the link and let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Amazing, amazing. So, Trey.
Yes.
Oh, good to see you
Good to
again.
be here.
We met last year, didn't we?
Yes,
and
we have.
we were speaking at the same engagement, if I
Yes,
may.
correct.
And you became my son, but then you just
Basically,
went away.
basically.
Yeah, you
We
became
tend
my
to do
son.
that at times.
Yeah,
We tend to do that at times,
right.
but we always find a way back
I always
home,
find
right?
a way back
Yes,
home.
exactly.
Yeah, so here you are back
Yes,
home
yes,
again
I
with
am.
me.
Yes, I am.
Um,
Bigger things. right?
Amazing, amazing. I've been watching you. You've been doing some great things in our
Thank you,
community.
thank you.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I asked you to come on the show because your story impacted me so much a year ago. And I really believe that your story will impact so much more. And that's why I wanted you to share your story. We're going to be asking you some questions so that your story
problem.
can flow
Right.
in accordance to the purpose, because that's what we're
purpose.
talking about. Not so much the pain. We may highlight that a little bit,
Okay.
but our focus is on the purpose, because
Okay.
I notice that you're walking in your purpose.
Correct.
I remember you saying that you used to hide and do your little drawing, right?
That's correct.
And thought it was a sissy thing, right? Can I use that word? I hope I can. I hope I can.
Can use that word? Yeah. We all grown,
Because I
right?
remember that's what you said,
We all
right?
grown. Yeah. We all grown.
And today you're doing that in full force and touching
Yes.
so many lives. Oh my goodness, it's awesome. So tell our viewers about you. Who is Trey?
Who is this guy?
Who's this guy,
Wow,
Trey?
who is this guy? Well, I go by Trayon Baksh. A lot of people know me as Trayarts, and I have been dominating paint nights now, especially in our community, and I'm trying to use my talent as a way to interact with our people and also my space to bring us together other than a club or a bar.
Okay.
Amazing,
Awesome.
amazing. Wow.
So that's
wow.
interesting. Art as
Art.
a form of healing.
Yes, it is.
Wow,
It healed me. So.
I'd never consider that. So, in terms of, tell us exactly, how does that work? What do you mean healing? What?
So when I start drawing,
Yeah.
it was just I never painted before.
Okay.
So when I actually got into painting, it kind of touched another side of my brain and my emotion that in art drawing didn't really touch. So it literally healed me mentally and kind of seeing things as what it is. Like art, we look at it anything in our view as art, right? The
Wow.
lifestyle you live is art. The way if you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, take a shower, go to work, that's art, right? So I look at life as art. So really,
Life is art.
life is art.
Love that.
Yeah.
Did we
Trademark.
catch that?
Like
Trademark.
It's so true.
Everything
It's so
we
true.
do
Yeah,
is
it's
art.
It's so
Correct.
true.
Wow, because art is expression,
Yes.
and everything we do, we are expressing who we
Exactly.
are.
Correct.
Wow, did you guys get that? Write that down. Everything you do is art. That's amazing.
art,
Wow.
So
Wow.
do you get a lot of guys in your art?
I sadly don't, but what I do to get them, I do couples date
Okay.
night.
Yeah.
So when I have the date nights, the
Yeah.
female bring their partner.
So what do you think? What's keeping guys away from tapping into the art or that other side of their brain?
You know, if you asked me this like 2 years ago, I wouldn't even answer. I wouldn't know what to tell you. But recently, when I've done a lot of schools and a lot of them with at-risk youths, I found out that they don't find art as cool as everything else, right? They feel like art is just a female thing. So a man, especially a black man, is supposed to be doing art, right? It kind of look little ways, which is I don't agree with that, of course.
Right. I mean, there could be a lot of benefits to connecting to that
Oh,
other side,
oh,
right?
for
You
sure.
talked about healing
Of
earlier.
course. Yeah.
Would this be something that you recommend for maybe a young person that's having self-esteem issues or anger issues, or?
It's good that you mentioned that. When I first started my painting night 2.5 years ago, I was renting spots downtown, and a group of 10 women emailed me right after saying that they're suffering from depression
Oh, wow.
and having suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
So they use art now as a form of getting to know themselves better and again to heal. So now
wow.
they have an extra spare room as an art room in their house.
That's very
So,
powerful.
yeah.
That's
very powerful.
amazing.
Very powerful.
So let's take you back for a little bit, Trey.
Yes,
I
let's
know
take
that
you back.
you have let's take you back and bring you forward again. So I know that I know a little bit of your story.
Correct.
Because you shared it.
Yes.
So and as I said in the beginning, that art was something you hide and do because you didn't think it was cool back when you were a kid. Tell us about that transition from doing art in Guyana, transition to Canada. What happened and how your pain become your purpose? How you use it? How you use the art to elevate yourself, if I may say, because that's exactly what you did.
Yeah. Well, big up all my Guyanese watching. Right? Big up Guyana.
Yay for Guyana!
And everyone else, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Honestly, growing up in Guyana, art was just something that, it was a getaway from me. I was raised by my auntie and then my grandmother. And seeing my grandparents both die in front of me, I need to find a way to kind of deal with that, other than just playing on the streets, because we're in a country, we don't really have much to do.
Right.
So I use my time as with build anything or even draw. And I started drawing, and honestly, I kept it to myself. Once I had a friend who used to laugh at me because I drew.
Right.
He's like, that's not manly enough, That's not our culture. We're supposed to fix cars. We're supposed to, go fishing. We're supposed to do the labor.
The stereotyping,
And so me as a young boy is just like, I don't know anything else but what I know there. So I kind of I never stopped drawing, but I just kind of hid it and showed who needs to know, which is mostly females only. Because they never tell me anything bad about it. And,
right.
Coming to this country was a lot to get into, because I came from a small village, and coming to Toronto, it was crazy. When I first came here, it was by Kipling and Steele's, and honestly, I literally started school. I never really got into drawing. I was in and out foster cares and stuff. So I came here by my parents, and I guess we haven't really seen each other really, so I guess the tension was there.
Right.
Which now, looking back at everything, I understand it a lot more.
You understand a lot better. Right.
So,
right.
At that time, I was in this mind where I just I know what this is, and this is how I wanted it, and I didn't give no one else chances, so I kind of stray away. And in foster cares, I never really painted and never really do anything until I was in high school, and I was forced to do art in high school. I'm like, that's when it really started coming back to me after I've done so much things that I didn't want to do.
Right. So I wanted to share with our viewers the story, because I'm gonna prick you a little bit.
All right.
I want you to share the story about you being on the wrong side of the fence and going in front of a judge, and how, because that's what stick with me.
Exactly.
And the reason why I want our viewers to hear this is that for the redemptive piece of it,
for sure.
you experienced redemption, and you said you walked away, and what happened inside of you that day?
Oh man.
Tell us about that.
So this when I was in high school. I was in a shelter, and it's not a lot of people knew about it, and I was looking for like a man figure in my life. So I turned to the streets, and I was in wrong gangs, and there's no right gang. I was in just a gang, and it felt like I had a purpose with them, because they made me feel like I was somebody.
Right.
And I've got, my art teacher at that time told me, there's a Woodbridge art fair. So I decided, you know what, let me enter this art fair. What I have to lose, whatever, nobody will know. I just enter it secretly and no one know. So I end up coming second place out of 2,000 people.
Nice.
Wow.
Right? So it was an all painting piece I did of Guyana. And it took me 3 months. I was like literally like this big. It took me like 3 months. And at that same time, I was going through a case where I got arrested, like not too long after high school, and from there I didn't see any future for me from after that, because my charge was so big that I was looking for like 30 years. And when I actually had to go for my trial, I was just thinking, man, you know what, this is it.
Right.
Jail, prison, none of that's for a human being. We don't deserve to be in there, and I see a lot of our people in there.
I know, it's so sad.
And
Young man,
my age, even younger.
Yeah.
And before I even got to my trial, I remember I was thinking, this is a thing I didn't really share too much. Like, I never really talked, because it never really come up. Now I'm actually thinking.
Now you're talking about it.
I'm thinking
Go
more.
for it. This is
So
a safe space.
It really it bugs me that how us as black men in jail, we will help one another. We eat together off the same table in a controlled environment. But when we're out in the free world, it's a dog eat dog. We we don't share that love. We don't share that let's eat at the same table mentality. In jail, you have that.
Wow.
And well, you have
That's
no choice
powerful.
too. But it's like it really touched me. But at that time, I was like, man, I regret doing all this stuff. But
Right.
I already accept so much. Once you're in jail, you accept so many things that you can't be angry at yourself no more. Right? Because you're gonna spend there, you're gonna go crazy. That one day is gonna seem like 1 month.
Right.
And so when I go up to the judge now, and I didn't know the judge, of course. It was an old Italian man, and
Right.
this was in Newmarket. And he looked at me. He read my name out. He's like, Trayon Baksh. He's like, did you enter Whippet Fair Art Contest? Wow. I'm like, after I start smiling, because I'm like, oh, he sung so excited. I'm like, the first man who sung so excited to hear that I enter art contest. I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, I'm one of the judges who judge your art.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? I'm like, I was like, what?
Oh,
So,
wow.
because of me, I'm just like, what makes you judge art? He's just like, is this something he just did for the community? He goes out, he just, you know, just he's going to retire. So that was I realized I was his last trial.
Right.
So he's like, you know what?
You were his
Sure.
last
I
trial.
was his
Yeah,
last
he's
trial.
gonna retire.
He was
And he
going
was
to
going
retire.
to retire.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Oh.
he told me, he's like, I'm looking at your records here. It's like, what? You seem like you have a vision. What went wrong? So I kind of told him my story, being in and out of foster care, being homeless, being on the street sometimes. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I have to do something good. I want to do something good. Wow. He's like, what if I drop all your charges, this one and everything else you had? Wow. Will that help you? Can you promise me you would give me a second chance in life and make me believe that I've done something right? Wow. And I was like, to me, I'm just like, I'm like, this guy's pulling my shirt. Like, this guy's pulling my leg. Because I'm looking at like 30 years. And you tell me, like, really? Yeah. And he's like, I want to do something. You don't deserve to be there. Right.
Oh, wow.
And he said, okay, do you agree? He's like, I want you, the officers will take you back. Yeah. You change. Yeah. I want you to come back tonight. So I went, I changed. I went to the doll store to pick out some art stuff, because I'm like, okay, I want to do something. So he told me, he's like, make me an art piece.
Oh, wow.
Let me hang it in my home. About
That is
staying
so
off the street
powerful.
and don't do drugs and all that. So I decided to go and do that. I did it on Bristol board. Yeah. It was in marker and pencil crayons, and I did. So I don't know what I was drawing, but it just everything.
It just flowed.
Yes,
It was just there. So I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I brought it to him. It was like a long table with 10 judges. And I was like, oh, I know this was a trap. I'm like, I knew this was a trap. I know they're not going to let me go. So from then, they were like, oh, we just want to talk to you. You know, I told all the judges about your case and what I believe that, you know, will be good, because I don't know if he needed all the judges to help sign off and stuff. I don't know why they were there, honestly, up to this day. And
You don't understand it
they
up
don't
to
understand
this
why
day.
there was so many of them there. So he just share my stuff with them, and he shared the painting, and we just looked at it, and he's like, all right, Trey, you know, what are you going to do now? I'm like, well, first thing I want to do, I want just to complete high school. You know, I need to complete my my classes, I want to go back summer classes. And he's like, all right. He's like, don't let me down. And from then, I'd never seen him again. Wow. It was, man, he was, I don't know now.
He was your angel.
He was, yeah.
He was your angel.
Definitely.
He was your angel.
What are the odds, right?
Yes.
Being the judge.
You are not.
For your art.
Right.
And then being the judge.
For your
For
life.
For my life.
For your life.
Yeah.
But God had another plan, and God used him to be your angel.
Exactly.
I love the story, because
Yep.
for our viewers to know that you are not your circumstances, and that's what that judge.
Yeah.
That was the redemptive. That's the redemptive story.
Correct.
He told you that your circumstances caused you to turn this way,
Yeah.
but that's not you.
Nope.
That was your circumstances.
Yep.
And you are.
But here's the powerful thing that the judge
Yes.
made him do.
Yes.
Is paint.
Yeah.
Paint what you're going to do.
Paint
Give
what-
me a picture of
Of
how you
what
see
you're
your
gonna
life
do. Yes.
going.
The vision.
Create the new story, create that new vision,
Yeah.
and commit to it. He got a commitment for you.
He
And
did.
you don't want to disappoint him.
Of course
but
not.
most importantly,
Disappoint
you didn't want to support yourself.
Yep.
And he got you to that point of decision where, you know, you're burning all your bridges. and you're just gonna go for it and change your life, man. And that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. And you had a shift, but I want you to look into
He's
here
like,
again.
I know, I could feel he's just watching me so deeply. He's like,
Because
I know
it
I
is-
touched him. I know.
it is
Transformation,
powerful.
bro.
Yes, for sure.
Transformation.
And look what you're doing.
Right.
I want you to tell young people
Right.
right now. This is just the right time. I can't
Yeah.
even let you leave it to the
I
end.
know.
I want you to tell them how or what it is that they are here for. Just like you, because you kind of knew why you're here. You knew your purpose.
Yeah.
But you turned.
straight away from
Tell them what they need to do and how they need to believe in
Right.
themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, put you in the hot seat.
Put in the hot seat. I realize, for the adults who are tuning into this also for you guys, I realize you need to, a lot of people say you have to love yourself. I think it's past that about loving yourself and love someone else. You just need to you have to know who you are as an individual, and you have to have time to understand yourself. I never took that time to understand myself. I made my crew, my group, my friends, whoever kind of painted a picture of who I am, and that's what I lived from in their eyes.
Right.
So I was not living my life. And another piece is just from doing that, I was going crazy. I had depression. I tried to commit suicide with my own weapon. And,
Oh my God.
when I was trying to do that, the bullet actually stuck in the chamber and would not come out. So I just went to bed from then. But basically what I'm trying to say is, once you let somebody control you,
Oh wow.
you lose who you are.
Oh wow.
Right? And what I do now is I work with Peel Police also to get kids out of gangs and off the street.
Beautiful.
And I share my story with them. And my youngest client was 8 years old.
Oh wow.
8 years old.
I get chills. You're
Yeah.
giving me chills.
Definitely.
And I never realized this kid, like, he's in juvenile. He got charged with guns. The police officer who actually
At 8
arrested
years old.
8 years old, and found out he was in an older group where they kind of let him do the stuff, and they run away with it. So he was the mule for them. And so basically, what I have to say is just like, a lot of people is afraid to be themselves and afraid to show who they are because of what others might think about them.
Right.
And I find like you could only please so many people.
Right.
No matter if you do good or not. You're not pleasing no one. Right? You might please one side, but like the main thing is please yourself. And I figure out once you're yourself, your life, you have one life, but once you in love with who you are, happiness is something like it's more precious than gold.
Right. Definitely.
So
Yeah. And you said, and the word is being authentic.
yes.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of pushing the
it
dirt
does.
for you
It
to
does. It's not
realize
easy.
that,
It
right?
does.
Right?
It does, for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
But you know what? How you started, the conforming, the following the groups, that's not your fault.
That's not.
No.
That wasn't your fault.
That was your
It's
circumstances.
just a circumstance. And we are prone to conforming and following. If you live in an environment, you're going to do the things
Exactly.
that's in that consistent with that being in that environment.
Correct.
But when the time comes to make the decision, when you are conscious, when you are aware of what's going on, of who you are, you got to make that decision.
You got
And
to.
when you make that
got to.
decision, there's no looking back. And that's when you really start to live on purpose and live with your
Yep.
power and know
Yep.
that you have the ability to create the life that you desire. Right?
Amazing.
But the experience too, right? Because experience, I think,
yes.
would even cement that decision once you make it.
Oh, for sure.
Because you don't know what you don't know. And
You
once
don't know
get
what you
to
don't
that
know.
point, you know where you walked a path,
Right.
and then you're ready. You have that hunger
Yes.
to go forward, and you made that decision, man. And
know,
that's amazing.
Thank you so
That's
much.
amazing.
Appreciate
That's
that.
very,
I
very,
appreciate
very
that,
inspiring and impactful. And congratulations on the great work that you're doing
Thank you.
with the police board
Correct.
and talking to young people and
Yes.
making a difference. Because
Making a
They need to hear
difference.
your story.
Yeah, for sure.
know.
So we
I
need
work-
to find that judge. He needs to
Yeah,
know that
I
you
know.
are doing what.
We need to find. We need to
But
go back
but
and
maybe
find
he's
him, you know?
alive.
What's his
Yeah.
name?
He doesn't
man.
know his name. He wasn't in that space.
I was in that space. It was not. I didn't know who my judge was. I didn't
But
know
we can
nothing.
find
I just,
him.
You know, so, but
We-
I really want to. I was thinking about. I'm like, I need to find him.
Yeah.
You know.
Social
so,
media.
Yeah, social media, please.
Let's find him.
Just set my name out there for
That
any judges
Italian
who
judge.
did my trial
Yeah.
in Newmarket.
in Newmarket. He used to work in
wow.
Newmarket Court.
But here's something
Wow,
else
wow.
I noticed, right? Trey had this natural artistic side of him, right? And it was always with him, and it's the thing that saved him in the long run. So it's like,
that.
we're here, we're guided. We have some form of a guidance.
We do.
We have a guidance.
We do.
And it's
The
just
purpose.
It's just getting connected
To the
getting
purpose.
directed to that particular purpose,
To the purpose.
and getting the information,
It's the purpose.
right,
Yeah.
and applying it, right, to make the difference.
But Aaron, I want to stick a pin there. For Trey, it took someone that didn't even know him,
right,
that didn't even know him,
Right.
to kind of give him that new perspective of
Right.
himself, to say,
Correct.
you are here for a reason.
Yes.
Your life matter. I'm not going to send you to prison like you deserve right now, but I'm going to give you
Yes.
a chance to go live your life and go impact your community, your world. Isn't that amazing? But a lot of people don't get that. So that's why we're so big on mentorship. Can you imagine
Yes.
if every person purpose themselves to say, I'm going to mentor one little boy or one little girl.
Yeah.
I'm going to feed them
Right.
with what they need so that they can walk in their purpose.
Right.
Because we all have a purpose.
Definitely.
We all do, for
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely.
And you know, I deal with people that always tell me that, oh, I'm going through this, going through that. Like we all go through something.
Yes.
Life.
Like, and it's I used to be that guy, like, why me? Why me? Like every day I'm in a situation, and I'm just like, why am I still here? And then when all that happened, I'm just like, you know what? I realize now, when I got my studio, in 2 weeks gonna be 2 years owning my studio.
Amazing.
So,
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Beautiful.
it's
Congrats.
amazing, and I realized I had to go through, like what you're saying, those experience. Not only because my circumstance, is because I need to go through those hard times to get me ready for these moments
For
right
these
now.
times.
And I know it's gonna get bigger and better, and I need to be strong enough,
Right.
physically and mentally,
Right.
and emotionally,
Yes.
and I have to go through all of those
Right.
to be strong for my most peak goal. Right. So
Right.
I feel like if you're going through something, it's for a purpose.
Definitely.
It's
Hang
for
in
your
there.
pain
Yeah.
equals your purpose.
Correct.
So
Correct.
some of us don't want to feel any pain. We don't want the discomfort,
Right.
but we want to bask in there,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But you're telling our viewers that sometimes you have to
have to.
experience these discomfort to that which is going to propel you to the greater good, which is why you're here,
Right.
Yeah.
which is the why you're here.
And when
I
you're
love
going
it.
through that tough time, you got to find something to hang on to.
You got to.
You know,
You got to.
something to keep that light burning.
Something
you
to
may
keep that
be
light
as
burning.
dark as day.
Ah.
You know, just got to find just one thing
Yeah.
to keep on going through and fighting through the pain.
And what made that bullet stick that night when you wanted to take your
Honestly,
life?
I don't even know. I tried to unclog the chamber, but it was not budging.
it was not to
Okay.
be.
So I'm just like, I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna try it tomorrow. And that was my mentality at that time. Like, it's so funny because now I look at these times. I'm just like, wow, what the?
Wow.
What was I thinking?
Because
What
Trey,
was I
you were in
thinking?
pain.
Exactly.
You were in literal pain,
Yeah.
emotional pain, physical pain. You were in pain because of what happened to you.
Correct.
Right? So you were in pain. You're just a young man in pain, and
Yeah.
all the young men that are out there that are in pain find themselves in this kind of pain.
Right.
It's not over until it's over. You
Correct.
don't have to exit.
You don't.
You just have to find a source, a place where you can talk. And now Trey has his art studio. It's not only for girls.
Right.
For
It's
everyone.
for
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Trey's ready for you to express yourself
Oh,
through
for sure.
amazing art. So if you're going through something,
Yes.
and call Trey.
Call
Trey.
us. No, it's
Trey's
funny.
art.
I'm gonna touch on that just now. I just want to say, if you're going through something, you have to find something that keep your mind busy. Do something
Yes.
what you love. At that time, I used to love dancing, right? And so every time I'm gonna finish off the street, I go home, I play music, and I'm there breakdancing, I'm doing whatever nonsense. But although I was going through so much pain, that little flame, that little spark,
It was an escape.
kept me
Yeah.
alive
That's
a little
awesome.
longer
That's
to
awesome.
reach this moment,
Amazing.
right? And it's funny that you touched that because I asked people like, hey, if you guys have any issue, call me. So about a month ago, I went to Niagara Falls. They got me out there to talk to the community because there's no one up there to talk to them. So I went and I got about 6 parents call me the following day about their kids, about their brother, about their husband.
Yeah.
And, you know, they bring them to me and I talk to grown people about, hey,
Oh, wow.
this is what something that you need to do and this is where I started from. And I understand people might be like, oh, you might not know what, but I know. I've been like, I did not eat for a month. I've been just drinking water and just going here and like, I went to shelter just to get a little bread. Like, I've been down. I didn't have no money, and I had the same clothes for the whole year. People used to make fun of me.
Oh
I'm
my
wearing
goodness.
the same clothes, same shoes. Only had like 2 pants, and I alternated.
So I say
And-
there's literally no excuse.
No
if you
excuse,
want to,
none.
if you want to grow, you can grow.
Of course you can. Of
You
course
can turn your life around, right?
Yeah.
You can.
That's for
it's
sure.
possible.
Oh, it is
It's
possible.
possible. That's
It's
what I'm
and
hearing from
anything's
you.
possible if you put in the work.
If you
Right.
put
Right?
in the work.
You put in the work and you trust yourself and you trust the process.
Yes.
Oh my God, Trey, that's just amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm going to say something to all the brothers out there, all the
Yeah,
brothers that
please
I
do.
encourage you again, folks.
To do
share
art.
This, share
Do
this,
art.
Share this
Do art.
with all your friends, but it's about healing.
It's
And
about
there's different
healing.
vehicles. We're talking about art as a form of healing. We're going to
Correct.
continue to explore art, but there's different ways. The bottom line is to get healed. To get healed, all the stuff that we're carrying around, it's toxin. It brings illnesses to us, and it messes up our relationships. And most importantly, the relationship we have with ourselves. We stop caring about ourselves. We beat up ourselves. Maybe not so much publicly, but in private.
Internal,
The
that
thoughts
internal
we have about
dialogue.
ourselves, we
It's,
keep
it's
ourselves-
toxic and negative,
we
right?
keep ourselves down, so we have to heal. And this
That's
is what
amazing.
Beyond Talk is about.
This is-
Healing.
we're about
it's
healing.
about transformation.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about conversations
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
And because we know that it's not just one person.
No.
I don't know the numbers, but I know most people have some type of a hurt that they have not been able to give up.
And
it's
a lot of
controlling- it's
people
controlling their
have
lives, right?
attempted
So-
suicide,
Oh, yeah,
or,
for sure.
or have the thought
Or have
of
thoughts,
taking
correct.
their life because it's
or
so
even tried and
it's
failed,
so painful.
It is.
Yeah. So your story is not uncommon. It's
not.
a very common
It's not.
thing. I'm so. Oh my God! I could just wash your feet right now because you're talking about
do
it.
we have a bowl?
Do we have a pond that I could just wash his feet? You know why? Because you're talking about it.
Yeah.
And
that's healing.
That's healing.
and
Exactly.
that is so amazing because
Yeah.
a lot of young people are not talking about it.
No, it's
And look, you're talking about it no longer controls you.
Exactly. No,
You're
it's funny,
you're
yeah.
teaching people how to
Right.
get out of that. You're setting a platform.
Yeah.
You're walking your purpose.
Oh, for sure. I like that.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And you guys both touched something, and I think it's very important. And this is for the fellas, ladies. I'll get to you later. This is for the fellas for sure. One thing I know and I've seen, and other guys told me, it's just like they think too much about what their friends will think.
Yeah.
And as a man, we're scared to let our ego go.
Oh yes,
Because
that's a
our
big
friends
thing.
might look at us like, you are this and that because you don't
Yeah.
have that macho ego.
Right.
But that macho ego stop us from so many things and get us
From
into
being
the wrong
healthy.
thing. So whatever you are,
Yeah.
or whatever way you be or act, that's what you're gonna attract.
Right.
So if that's the
Wow.
way you're gonna end up
you
and you're on the
got
street,
Yes. Yes.
and if you're on the street and you're
Yes.
still thinking that way,
Yes.
you're gonna only attract negative
Right.
things.
Right.
So I try to teach a lot of youths and a lot of guys who come to my paint nights. I try to let them know. It's funny because a lot of guys when they come in my paint night, they're all macho. They're walking like, "What's up?" I'm like, "How you doing, sir? How you doing?" And he's like,
Yeah.
and so they're just sitting. So in the middle of my paint night,
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, this is wicked." And I'm just like, you just have to be yourself. I know that wasn't you.
You're still
Yes,
a man.
yeah,
you're
you're
still
still
a
a
man,
man. It
but
doesn't
doesn't
take
define
anything
you.
away.
Right? It's
Exactly.
not who you
so
are.
it took me a while to share because I was like maybe one or two friends who knew me from back then are like, what? You were homeless? What? I'm like, I was so secret. I just didn't want to tell no
you
one.
didn't want to
This
tell
time when
anyone.
I just disappeared, and people was like, where's Trey? And I just like crawl in my space and don't even come out. So like you said, it's a part of healing. I share my story, and I feel so comfortable in myself, and I don't really care who judge me because
Beautiful.
they still can't stop this.
No one can judge you
right?
because you're telling your story. That's the piece.
Yeah.
When you tell your story,
Yeah, I'm not
no
free.
one can judge you.
No one can
right?
say nothing.
Right, yeah.
No one,
Because you already put yourself there.
no one
So-
can judge you when you share your story.
Correct.
It's your story and you're
That's
telling
right,
it.
yeah.
Who can judge that?
That's
Nobody.
right, that's right. But you know what?
Nobody, yeah.
You talked about ego.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh man.
when you hit rock bottom, there is no ego anymore, and you got to climb up. You forget about ego, and now you're thinking about surviving,
Yeah.
and you want to think about rebuilding,
Correct.
right? And I mean, that's for me was a critical point when you hit rock bottom,
Yeah.
and you have that will to live.
Exactly.
And you can't even think about what people think at that point in time.
you
You're just
cannot.
thinking about what you need to do to survive that moment, to survive that day,
Yeah.
right? And
That's
you're just
so
gonna
true.
you're gonna talk to people. You're gonna get the information that you need, and just to get to today.
That's so true. And you know,
Right.
and it's not only your just letting your ego down and your guard or whatever you want to call it, but also you need to put what's first, which is yourself. And what I've seen lately and also back then, I'm gonna use this example because everybody knows it's a popular example. I have friends before, I don't have them no more. I have friends before who will live in Jane and Finch or Chalk Farm, and they will buy a Benz, right? To please those outside, and they come home, fridge is empty. And I always tell them, listen, you are going so far and beyond for people who don't know your existence
Right.
and who don't know who you are, and the person who know who you are, which is you, is left all the way down here.
Oh wow.
So
Isn't that powerful?
before you buy a Honda and treat and build yourself,
Right.
you are just building your ego,
Right.
and it's gonna be that much hard
Right.
to get
Wow.
away.
And I like that you say you don't have those friends anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Because when you grow,
Yes.
you
Circle
should
gets
grow
smaller.
out people too. If they're not
for sure.
willing to come up your level, then you
Well-
have to leave them. I'm so happy you said that because young people need to know that when you start to grow, your circle will even become smaller because you realize that you don't need all that.
Right.
And that's what you've done. And you're young.
Yeah.
You're pretty young. I don't want to tell them your
I'm
age.
12.
But so I admire you because you're this young, you've made the transition,
Correct.
and you're going up.
Yeah.
You can only go up.
Yeah.
If you continue in this path, wow, I just cannot even
You know,
imagine.
It's nice. You know, it's good that you said, but especially with the friends thing. A lot of guys always say, "Oh man, you know, my boy's always gonna be here for me." I took charges for my so-called friends. I spent, you know, maybe a month or so in jail for one friend, and I came out. He see me, he never say thank you or nothing. I'm not saying I'm
Wow.
looking for it,
Right.
but he just like distanced himself from me now.
Wow.
I'm like, I sacrificed my freedom
Right.
to give you yours.
Right.
And in return,
Wow.
you give me this backlash for what? So I always tell these young guys, I'm like, oh, you can go and bang out with your boys and do this, but once someone have to talk, your name is getting thrown underneath the bus.
Right.
Because you're gonna go and try to protect your boys, but who's really protecting you? None of them. And that's what
Say
happened.
that again.
No one's protecting you
No
but
one
yourself.
is protecting you.
But yourself. I had a close friend who like we're so close, but he haven't done anything really bad to me. But it's just like this mentality, and I try to get him out. I try to talk to him once a year now. You know, he knows.
Right.
He understands what I'm doing, and he understands it
He
too.
knows
And
that you have grown.
yeah, and him mentally, he can't get out. I'm trying to get him off whatever that situation is, and I'm like, yo, come and help me push some paintings.
Yeah.
I give you money to push it.
Yeah.
I do stuff, but once you don't see my dream as
Yes,
the way I
yes.
see it,
Yeah.
I can't have you around. If you just think I'm giving you this dream and you're like, oh, you're not going to make nothing out of a painting.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, all right, thank you. And I don't call him back. I'm like, I don't need this type of energy.
Exactly.
So I just went and I did it by myself.
Nice.
You're on the path.
Yes.
You're talking about energy.
It took a while. Energy this, energy that.
It's energy that.
Everything is
It's
energy,
energy
man.
It's
that.
energy. You know?
It's
I never
so-
really understand it.
Yeah,
to be honest
but
with you, I
you
never
do
understand
now.
it.
So certain things you really don't need.
Yeah, you have to. You know,
If it's
you.
bad, it's not.
Man.
It cannot be good for you if it's bad, right? Yeah.
Right?
If it's
So,
bad, it can't be good for
And
you.
man, it's just for the females. I need to talk to the females.
Talk to the females.
Females, you know. First of all, you know, a woman is a very powerful being on this planet, and I don't think most females really understand or really understand what that whole sentence mean. And you guys have so much power to change a man. You guys
We do?
You guys have so much power to.
Karen, we do.
I bet you some ladies like, what? I tried to change my man. He
I
ain't
tried
going
too.
nowhere. He just going nowhere. So,
I
but-
tried too. It didn't work. You didn't tell me.
But
Tell
it's just
me.
like what I want to know, because if something don't work, you cannot teach a student something that you don't even know yourself. So I always tell females, like, love yourself. The reason why there's makeup, there's filters, there's all this to make you depreciate who you are as a person. So I always tell people, I always love my woman natural.
Right.
Whoa.
And
Thank you, brother.
if you could be naturally be comfortable in your own skin,
Yes.
you have that happiness that what makeup can even give you.
That's the goal.
I'm not saying
Wow.
it doesn't hurt to put on a little bronzer here and there,
Yeah.
and a eyeshadow.
You're telling
But-
the truth.
Yeah,
You're,
but if
you're,
you
you
go
know what
and-
you're saying.
If you could have I had a friend before. But she's always like, oh, come, let's go out. She's like, oh, hold on, I have no makeup. I don't feel so good. I'm just like, you see what this makeup doing to you?
Right.
It's making you feel like you cannot leave this house
Yeah.
without it on. Because if you don't have anything on, just like, oh, I'm ugly. I don't feel good. I'm just like, how you want a man
Right.
to love you for who you are?
Right.
If
To
you
stand
can't
by
love
your
yourself
side. You
for who
can
you are.
love yourself and love how you look. If you want a husband, your husband's gonna see you through the bad, the good, the worst, and
Relationship
you-
therapy.
you without basically makeup. For some fellas, that is like, man, we need to know how you look like. We don't know if you look like, you know, Alicia Keys one day and next day you look like someone else. Like, we need to know who you are. So we need to fall in love with that. So females need to fall in love with themselves, and that's how a man will fall in love with you. You
We gotta
attract the
have you
same
back
energy.
for the
Right
relationship
Yeah.
topic.
Guys,
You look like you got some lot
I've
of
learned,
relationship.
I learned a lot in relationship, man.
Awesome.
And you're talking to a lot of ladies because they're coming out to
Hello?
your paint nights,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of ladies
yeah, I
do
try
your
to
paint nights.
empower females. I try to empower everyone. And my goal is, if I have a room with 20 or 2 people or 5 people, I want to change just one. One is
That's
the
my
best thing.
philosophy too,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
I say
Make a
that
difference.
beyond all the time.
Yeah.
It's not about the crowd.
Right.
If you can impact one person, that one person will impact another person.
Correct.
And it's the multiplication.
Yeah.
It's not about having a whole big crowd in front of you. I love it. Give me a high five. I love it.
Right.
One
That's
Get
person.
this, yes.
One
It's
person.
that's all it takes.
That's all it
It
takes.
took one person to change your life.
It took one
Because
to
it took
change
one
my
How
life.
many judges? How many judges did you see prior to
Oh
this?
man, I seen a lot
Right.
more than
That's
this
all it
one.
does.
So it
That's
just
all
took
you
And
me
it
need.
this
took
one.
him. One
Yeah.
person.
All you need.
That's
know,
all it takes,
man,
guys.
right person.
The
Yeah.
right person.
It wasn't for him. I wouldn't be here with you guys talking. I don't know
Oh
where
my
I'll be,
God.
honestly. To
He
be
saw,
honest.
he saw your potential.
Yeah,
he saw
for
the
sure.
greatness in you.
Wow.
And, kudos for him to
Yes.
to make getting you to make that commitment.
Oh man, yeah,
To make that change.
yeah, for sure, man.
So,
Sticking to it.
so tell us about. I had a question about.
I know
it.
we had questions and
We've been talking,
Man,
but
it's
but
natural. I like
it's
that.
natural.
I like
it's
that.
amazing.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's amazing. But I want to ask you about your greatest fear.
Okay.
Because I know that we live in an era where fear is a big deal. This generation, we're talking about Generation Y and Z.
Yeah.
And we know that this generation, they walk around with a lot of fear.
Oh, man,
Fear, they walk around macho as if they're tough,
Yeah.
but really and truly
Yeah,
they're experiencing a lot of fear. There's a lot of noise. The social media, the media itself, there's a lot of noise around them. So therefore, they're experiencing a lot of fear. Tell us about your biggest fear and what you would tell them about
wow.
their own fear.
Well, I think now I have different fear. My fear now, it's not staying true to myself. That is one of my biggest fears because I've seen people who've gone from here to here and they have changed who they are as a person. And I try to be as humble as possible.
I love it.
And every time when I see people, they're like, "Oh, that's the Trayarts guy." I'm like, "Me?" I'm like, "It's okay." No, man. I just never want to lose who I am as a person.
Yes.
And that's my biggest fear. Before I was like, "Oh my gosh, I want so much money." I'm just like, I'm like, that is just material things. There's trillions of dollars out there every day just being made. I'm like, money's not going nowhere. So, but yourself is, your health is, your life will.
Woo.
So, I always tell people, if you're walking around macho, you are basically in your own cocoon, and your real you, who is the butterfly, you're just waiting to come out. So you need to let out your butterfly.
Wow.
Somebody give me a pen. Oh my God. Give me some. Give me some. Oh man, that's a quote.
We're taping that we got it. I love it. And we didn't even talk. You sound like
Butterfly waiting to
come.
fly.
Yes, you viewers, you guys could steal that too. You guys could steal that.
yes.
Wow.
Oh wow, that is so powerful.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
what you're
like
afraid of, losing
losing
yourself.
myself.
You know what? I don't believe in walking around with fears. You can replace that fear with the things that you desire, the way that you see yourself, right, playing out in life.
Yes,
Focus
that's
on
true.
that. Put no energy on the fear. Forget the fear, right? Focus on, keep it positive, keep it constructive.
Yes.
And that's all you'll have.
I like that. I'm gonna use that.
That's
I like that.
Focus. Energy.
Put in fuel in your life.
On the things you want to attract,
things
the
you
things
want to
pull
attract.
into your life,
Yeah.
right?
Because you know it's so.
So
it's
is
so
that
weird
what you
how
want to
good.
tell the young people out there?
For sure.
That
Exactly.
don't
Focus on, you know, well, it goes back to self-esteem, having a positive self-esteem,
Right.
Loving yourself,
Correct.
regardless of where you find yourself, right? Get inside yourself and build that strength, that inner strength. It
right.
comes from within,
All right.
right? And if you don't have somebody around you that can pour into you, right? Learn to do it yourself through positive self-talk, affirmations,
That's
you know,
right.
and
That mirror talk.
visualization, daydreaming. You know,
The mirror
spend
talk.
some
I love
quiet
that. I
time
love
and
that.
just, you know,
Daydream.
imagine your life how you aspire to be.
You get that much. You get so hungry off
Yeah,
that.
and that creates action. It attracts you onto that
What you
path to get more information, get the people
That's
to
so
help put
true.
you on the path to eventually
Choose
That
your
is so
circle
true.
wisely.
Yeah, and
Choose your
eventually,
circle.
right? Eventually, then you start to develop those
Yes,
skills and
yes,
get
yes.
stronger in
Correct.
who you are to help you stay on the path.
Yeah.
Amazing,
right?
That's
amazing.
So it's a great process.
Yeah, that's
You know?
amazing. I like that. That is, because if we have 10 good things, we have one bad thing. As a human being, we're going to focus on that one bad thing. Because we're like, man, why is this one bad thing there?
Happening to me
But we
right
forget
now.
about all
Yeah.
those good
Right.
things on
10
this
good
side.
things that we
So
have.
we need to focus on that more, for
And
sure.
it's the habits too, right?
It is.
We're so accustomed to beating up ourselves. We have, like you said, we have that 9, but that one is going to drag us down.
And-
Break that habit,
Yep.
right?
You got to.
So Trey, yes, you're speaking from a place of very high emotional intelligence. That's what I'm gathering. That
thank you.
you're emotionally aware,
Of course.
and that's something that it is said. I didn't say it, but I was
Yeah.
reading a few things on the internet, and it is said that this Generation Z, which is the now, I think that 1996 to current, that they have very low emotional intelligence.
Oh, for sure. Some of them. Most of them I see.
But emotional intelligence is something that we need
We do.
to live this life, to be
do.
honest.
All generations.
Because that's how we tap into,
Especially social
that's how
media's
we
out there
become
now.
self-aware, and we get to know who we are, like you were saying, right?
Correct.
So with that low emotional intelligence for our young people or youths now, you're saying a 8-year-old
Yeah.
is trying to join a gang,
Yeah.
right? He 8-year-old. I can't even fathom
Got
that.
charged with gun charges.
Oh my God, I can't even
8
fathom
years
that.
old.
But what would you tell them about that? Because it's not cool.
It's
All
not-
the stuff you're saying,
it's not cool.
emotional intelligence is not cool because now I have to get all knowing who I am, all that kind of deep stuff. That's not really cool. When I can just go watch, when I can play some video game with men shooting men and men being aggressive and men beating women. I saw a kid the other day playing a video game and it was about a man slapping a woman across, and I said,
maybe that's Grand Theft Auto.
and
Maybe something,
this was a little kid, and I said, I think he needs to turn that off.
Yeah,
of course.
And I just couldn't stand it, and I was adamant. I said he cannot be playing this kind of game. So what do you tell him about building this emotional intelligence that you got right now? You want to give it to them?
Well, you know what I realized, what I've seen when I was growing up, I realized that, in the country it takes a village to raise a child. Over here, man, who's raising who, right?
Nobody,
I've been thinking about stuff. I don't like politics. I don't like talking about them because if you look at liquor store, beer store, drugs, cigarettes, all these things are out there to destroy us mentally and emotionally. And these games, if you hear about music now, rap music now, it's all about killing this. If I go in a song and rap about, I went and do this and do that, I'm going to jail. If it's not under this certain record that we are pushing these music to these people because, one, maybe the world is getting too populated. Some people need to go. And to make them emotionally unstable is going to put them off the street or on the ground. So I just need to tell people, doesn't matter what you're doing, you cannot run from anything bad. Like, I could go and play a game with a guy shooting a guy, but I am so mentally aware of what I'm doing and what I'm not supposed to do, and knowing that this is the game.
You know what's wrong
This is not what I'm supposed to do. So you need to know. You need to find. Once you find yourself, it's like no matter what you do, what's in front of you, you know.
If it's wrong or right.
Before something even happened, you know what you're going to do, right? So, I literally, the only thing I have to tell you guys, man, first of all, just work on your mental health is a big thing in this community, in this world. Mental health does not get enough shine that it needs to get, and for reason, of course, because nobody want Muhammad Ali to speak the way he spoke because he's so mentally aware. And if you speak those facts to a group of people who's not mentally aware and they have something that mentally stimulated them, they're just like, wow, this feels good. What else can I learn from that? And you're going to have a group of people who know so much about something that the government don't even want to tell you, or your teacher don't want to tell you. So, for me, I think school, honestly, no offense, people, I think school is like prison. We don't
a form
of
in
prison.
In a way.
It does not teach us what we
if
really
you don't
need
tap
out
into
there.
yourself,
And finance is a big thing. So if you guys want to get your mind off some stuff, learn how to save money. That's something I wish I knew how to do. I just bought a bunch of shoes for no reason. And
I think we all did that at some point, didn't we? I think we all are guilty.
And
At
I'm just
some
like,
point we
if
did
you look
that.
at the jail system and the school, it's just like we have to save routines. We are locked up in a room. We have this recess. The bell ring, we go back in.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole
from the whole pipeline. That's a whole nother show. We're definitely
so you
talking
could
about
go
that.
to school, but you need to be mentally aware of what you're doing.
So
as long as you're going there
emotional
for a purpose,
intelligence needs to be
you need
taught. They need the tools
For
to
sure.
be able to tap into that.
Of
The
course.
parents need that tool,
Oh,
and
man, for
teachers
sure.
need that tool,
Yeah.
and that's something that our kids need to know.
Yeah.
Know who they are
Yeah.
and why they came here, why they're here, and that's the food for the. For the mental food,
Yes.
they need more mental food.
You have to find your purpose, man.
Yes.
It's 2020, high and low.
Wow.
I didn't know exactly. Okay, I started my business about 7 years ago, and I'm just like, man, I'm still drawing. I'm just selling art to people overseas, and I'm still working at this job. I'm like, I want more. So I expand and I dug into myself more, and I found out I'm like, what made me uncomfortable made me who I am now. And I was so uncomfortable to be in front of so many people and teach them something that I was afraid to teach myself. So once I found that is what made me. Now people just know me as the paint guy. They don't like, oh, you draw? Oh, I forgot you draw. So once you dig into yourself, you'll find your niche. And I hate when look his bit like
that's where it is.
Oh, no,
It's in there.
In
so
there.
you gotta go
You
inside. You gotta go outside in.
Doing the uncomfortable.
Doing the uncomfortable things. Outside
Yeah,
in.
that's
To
me.
find that.
Once I feel comfortable in anything I do, I'm just like, nope, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I need to feel uncomfortable. I need to be uncomfortable for me to give my best.
Oh, wow.
If you're comfortable, your mind's so relaxed that
It's
you
true,
don't think about
eh?
the next step.
It's true.
So you cannot be comfortable around a certain surrounding, around what you want. If I'm comfortable
If
in
it's
the
a
position
comfort
I am
zone,
now,
then you need to
I'm
move.
gonna stick to this position now. But time still move, but I'm still in my own little box. So I need to move with it.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
You're ahead of your time, though.
I got to be.
Because
The man was sent you with a purpose.
It was done for a purpose.
He was here for a
Quote
purpose.
unquote. Right?
you're ahead
Start
of your
from the very
time.
beginning.
Talking like
Right?
this,
Failed attempt.
Yep.
Take your own
talking
life.
like
Yeah.
this,
The
I
judge.
just hope that
You know.
a lot of youths and older people,
I know, for
because
sure.
I know a lot of older people
Yeah.
that are right here stuck in their comfortable position,
Yeah.
don't want to move,
Oh,
don't want
man.
it to change, don't
They
want
have
any
to.
disruption.
They have to.
But it's the disruption that make you,
You know, it's
That's where the growth
yes,
comes in. Right?
that's where
growth.
the growth comes in.
and you know, it's just I get a lot of, let's say, it's females, right? So a lot of moms, they always tell me, oh, what can I do for my child? For those who's thinking about, oh, my child's going through this. Honestly, mistake is the best teacher. You cannot teach your child something what mistake will teach him or her. So you have to let your child make the mistake. And your job is to let them know this is what will happen and this is what will not happen. What path do you go on? That's on yourself. And hopefully, once you get into that, you learn from that. If the person doesn't learn, of course, you want to find more help, but you cannot change someone who don't want to be changed.
I'm learning that as a
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
You cannot be.
That was some good
Touch on
word.
something- Yeah, that was powerful. Also, what he said was that what I heard is you got to let the child make decisions.
You have to.
You have to trust
You have to.
themselves with the decisions that they make.
I'm
and
learning
know
that,
they
Aaron.
have-
Yeah, you have
Don't
to.
show any stones,
Two
Aaron.
sides, right?
I'm,
Oh, no,
I'm learning
no, I'm
that.
just saying, that's
I'm
pretty
learning
powerful,
that.
right?
I'm
Because
learning
that builds
that. That's
confidence
amazing.
in that child.
Exactly.
And you're preparing that child to trust themselves, to stand on their own 2 feet,
Thank
not
you.
follow the crowd,
Right.
Do what resonates well with them.
That's right.
And be confident with it. Even they have to be alone.
You guys,
Right.
you guys need to understand, with a child or any human being, we do what we see. We pick up habits. So if you, as a mom, gonna tell your child, oh, don't do that. So when that child go out with friends, they'll feel that tension. Oh, should I do this? So when the friends that do this, they will do it because they already have that from home. So that's what they're comfortable with. So if you let them make their own decision and have their own mind,
Right.
they'll be a little more stronger to handle.
Right. You know, with
Different,
guidance,
yeah.
right?
With guidance, you mean, yeah.
You know,
Good guidance.
Guidance don't mean no, don't do it.
Right.
Guidance just
Yeah.
mean, hey, this is what right and
Right.
this is wrong.
Let's talk through it.
Which way you want to go?
Right. Yeah.
I love it. Raising generation.
Raising generation.
Y and Z.
Y and Z.
That's
Y and
your
Z.
generation,
My generation
and the
my-
younger
and the
generation.
younger one.
Where are we?
We're,
We're like,
I
yeah,
think
we're like, where are we?
we're X. We're X.
We're like, we're in Rexdale. We're in Rexdale. Generation Rexdale.
Generation X. We're Generation X. You and
Generation
I,
X.
and maybe Chief
Yeah.
Generation
You're assuming,
X.
eh?
No, I know. We
He's
are.
younger than you look, you know?
Don't let the
Oh,
grape
well,
fool you, eh?
well, all right, Aaron. We know you're young. We know you're. But we're young. I'm young too.
Awesome.
But we
We're all
are your
young.
generation
Yeah,
We're all
behind
young.
him.
Yeah.
Your body always grow, but your soul always stay young.
Yes,
Right.
you're
Time
too
is up.
deep for.
He's
You're
very
too
deep.
deep for me.
So do you have a
We
book,
we
Dom?
gonna we gonna be doing some poetry. And I think he's been reading my poetry too, right?
You know,
Right, Trey?
it's funny because a lot of people ask me to. I'm actually now. You guys will be the first one knowing. I'm working on my coloring book right now,
Oh, wow.
so it's gonna be motivation stuff, and but I really want to start doing programs for people who needs it.
Yes.
So I'm like, instead of a book, and they need to see me, they need to hear my voice. So
Right.
I wanted it. It has that many more. I could touch more people that
Yes,
way
yes,
than
yes.
a book.
Eye to
Right?
eye, belly to belly,
Yeah,
right?
belly to belly, right?
Belly to
belly
belly.
So
love
I
it.
want to do some course about like self love, how like
Wow.
just kind of like share my story too.
So
and
you're
let people
sitting
know.
among the right people. We're
Oh, for
working
sure.
together.
Yeah, for sure,
You
of
hear
course.
that?
I hear it.
We
Wow.
were talking
He's
about
talking like
this.
a beyonder.
He's talking like a beyonder.
I'll be you guys next semester now. It'll be 3 hours now.
Beyonder.
Contract over
Big
there.
and
We have a
coach.
contract over there for you, Trey. You're talking like a true beyonder.
Oh man,
You get it.
but no, it's
You
like
get
yeah,
it.
you know, there's so many books out there. I never wanted to be like everyone, write a book. You know, I want to be different. So I want to make visual stuff. I'm an artist, so I could still keep my artistry in everything I do.
And your coloring book will be a book. It's just that it's visual.
It's visual and it's also it's action thing because I want you to open your mind to something else. So that's my way to kind of share.
We're talking about action.
We're
talking about action.
Mine is like a parachute.
Right?
Only works when it's open, right?
Wow.
That's why my slogan is art is more in my mind than in my finger.
That is so powerful.
Life.
Art is in your mind. It is. All the creativity is in your mind.
Our body move because of our mind.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I could draw because my hand. No, it's your mind telling you.
It's your mind. It all starts
exactly.
there. And that's why, as you said, we have to guard it.
Yeah.
I don't think we guard enough. We got to guard what comes in.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't feel right, then you need not to entertain it. You have to guard that mind.
You know, it's good. Like when you say guard, I know some people might be like, oh, let me put up a wall.
No.
But you just need to know the detox.
No, yes, you know how to know. You're not putting up a wall.
Like,
you just
take
know
it
what's
in.
coming in.
Filter it.
But make sure you filter it out.
It's
Right?
not
Don't stay in. You know, or
Flush it.
don't. Yeah.
Yes.
Good, not good. Good,
No,
not good.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And your
Sieve it,
subconscious is
sieve
making
it.
decisions like that.
Okay, I don't
All the
need
time.
that.
And listen to it.
Good,
Listen
no
to
good,
it.
good, no
Listen
good.
to it.
Yeah.
Listen
all
to it.
pictures. The mind works in pictures, right? And the pictures that you give that energy to, right, are the ones that your mind, your subconscious mind, goes to make you a part of your experience.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's facts.
Yes,
That's facts.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we have to be careful of the pictures, the things we see,
Yeah.
right, repetitively, and the pictures that we intentionally put into
And
our
how
mind,
we're putting them
right?
into our minds.
And we do have control over that. You can intentionally, right, and send a picture to your subconscious by just repeating it over and
Intentionally
over again.
take it out. Some things creep into your mind
Yes.
when some things are formed there. Since you were when you're a baby,
Right,
when
you're
you're a
conditioned.
child,
Yeah,
you're conditioned.
Good
So
word, yeah.
these things now, some of these things are what keep people stuck.
Right.
So it's kind of rebuilding
Yes.
that dialogue,
Right.
changing it,
Yes.
taking it out, if you may. And when I say guarding it, is that like I call it a bouncer. Like if somebody says something to me and that's not something I want to dwell on or receive, I guard it.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of send it back to
Yeah.
I send it back to sender.
Yeah.
Boop, take it back. It's not mine. I don't want it. Take it back.
Yeah.
I don't want that negative thing. I'm not. I'm not
what's
taking
good
it.
as well? Every decade, you should reevaluate your 20s, your
We're in a
30s,
new
your
decade.
40s.
Yeah.
Because now we're just like, okay, what have I learned in this? What do I want to mature? What do I need to change? What do I not need to change? So I think that's how you kind of filter also who you are as a person. Now you start realizing yourself more. So if you want to do it every 2 years or every new year, like everyone do, new year, new me. But,
New Year, new me. Did you watch our video about that? New Year, new me. A lot of people do that every single year. New Year, new me.
It
Never works.
should be a new you every day.
I knew you every day.
Every day.
It's a
Because you're
daily
learning every day.
transforming.
And
Yeah.
I always tell people, if you don't read a lot, there's so much going on
Yeah.
outside. Look, learn. Just be very aware of your surrounding. I'm very aware. I walk outside and I look all over. I know what that is. And it trains your mind to know a lot more. Right? And you just pinpoint what not supposed to be there. Yeah. It's a good way to train your mind.
Wow.
Just go for a walk and just like look around in your surrounding.
Right, totally aware.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful concept.
Nice.
The whole mindfulness piece.
Yes.
Yeah, feel and
Yes.
smell. Yeah. It's a
So
whole.
it's been a great time.
Oh,
It has been a great time.
We could be here for hours.
I know, right? I was like, we're almost done already.
Just again, for those of us who's just joining us, we've been talking with Trayon Baksh here at Beyond Talk Live, Walking with Purpose, Raising Generation Y and Z. And the conversation has been on par. It's been wonderful.
It's been wonderful.
We encourage you to
It's been
continue
amazing.
sharing and continue tuning in to this
Beyond
beautiful
Live.
Beyond Talk Live.
Oh, for
Beyond
sure.
Talk
for sure.
Live. You want to pick up?
And again, we want to thank our behind-the-scenes team, Chief Yankee,
Yeah.
Core Productions Incorporated. We want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity and thank you for taking Beyond to the world.
Thank you. And I want to thank you guys, man.
Amazing.
Thank you guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. So it's been a great time. Thank you, Trayon, for being here with us
Thank
and
you
sharing
so
your
much.
amazing story. And it's very inspiring. And we hope that a lot of our viewers, most of our viewers, would have again,
Correct.
Send us, make your comments. How can people get in touch with you?
My
Yes.
website, Trayarts.ca. That's Tray, not Tre.
Okay.
So Trayarts.ca and Trayarts on Instagram. And I do a lot of motivation stuff on my story. I always kind of basically my Instagram story is like my like a YouTube daily. Like
Nice.
you know where I'm at every day. So I just try to motivate people who's watching. So you guys could tune in on that. And
Amazing.
so hopefully I could do some YouTube things to motivate people too.
Yes, why not? Some more
right.
Beyond Talk.
More beyond talk. You guys come and you guys want me back here again.
Of course we
Let's talk
want you
about
back. We
some
want
other
you
stuff.
back, of course.
What's
We
our
want
next?
you
Our
back.
next talk is on.
Oh, but our next talk is on the 17th of
17th of
January.
January.
Right,
And
that's
we're
too
talking to Natabo. Natabo is also a woman on purpose.
Oh.
I can't pronounce her last name. She's gonna beat me up for that, but it's all right.
Don't worry, no trouble, no worry.
Yeah, she's on purpose.
Okay.
And she talks about from pain to purpose. That's her story. Her story is phenomenal.
Right,
Please
amazing.
watch. Please get your
Oh, for
friends to
sure,
watch.
for sure.
She's also another Y generation.
Okay.
I think
Just
she's
like
about
me.
your
All right,
age.
okay.
Yeah, I think you're the same age.
Okay.
Yeah. So she'll be talking about purpose, and I'll connect you to her.
I feel like I
You kind of know her.
I feel like me and
I
her
think
did something
you might
already.
have.
All right.
You might have.
All right.
Once again, thank
All
you.
right, take care. Good
Thank you,
night.
guys.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Everybody, we'll
Good night,
see
everyone.
you on January 17th.
All right.
Talking
Bye-bye
to
for now.
Natabo.